Hi there. Welcome to the first of what I hope is going to be many video blogs that I put together. The goal behind putting together these video blogs and creating the YouTube channel for our district really is to make sure that we have good communication that's getting out in two different ways. So what my goal is once a week I'll be putting together a video blog that'll go out internal to all of our staffalty. And really the idea behind that is it really just to get good communication out to everybody. During the course of this year up to this point at least, it's been very, very busy, and I haven't had the opportunity to be out and about and visiting with each and every one of you as much as I have in the past, and as much as really I want to. So while I'm not using this as an excuse, and it's something that I continue to have as a goal to get out more and see you more in the hallways and those types of things, this is going to give me an opportunity to share just kind of what I'm working on and what are some of the things that are happening across the district, information that I think is important for all of you guys to have. So you're going to see that once a week, and then in addition to that, I'm going to have a second video, and the second video is going to be a public video, and we'll share that on the Facebook page. We'll put it on our website, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feature somebody in the district, whether it's a student, a teacher, one of our staffalty members, whatever the case may be, in just a 4 or 5 minute interview, talking about something that we want to highlight, how we can celebrate excellence in the stuff that's happening. Currently, we celebrate excellence with the board once a month, and we recognize some of our students, or we recognize staffalty members. But this is another opportunity to really shine that spotlight on people and really spread the message that there's awesome things that are happening here in West Grand School District, and we want to make sure that we highlight the great things. It's easy for people to point out negative things, or go on Facebook and complain or gripe or whatever the case may be. But what I want to be able to do is really do everything we can to control that message and really spread the amazing things that are happening here in our district. I'm very proud of our district. I know that you, as staffalty members, are very proud of our district, and it's an opportunity for us to really highlight it. So with that, the first thing I want to do in this video is a little bit of a staffalty shout out. You guys all know about the starfish, and I've had opportunities in district-wide staffalty meetings to present some starfish, but unfortunately the last two professional development days that we've had, I've been at superintendent meetings somewhere else in the state, and I haven't been able to be there. So I want to try to catch up a little bit on the starfish. So when I talk about these individuals, just know that they're going to find a starfish showing up in their mailbox sometime very, very soon. So there's two groups really that I want to highlight today, specific to the starfish. I have been really, really inspired by the work that's being done in support of instruction this year. Last year, when we made the decision to add an instructional coach, we knew that was going to be something that one would take a lot of work. It would take a lot of learning, both for those of us in the classrooms, to have somebody coming in to support us, for Laura moving into that role, and then it's a cultural shift for us to have an instructional coach. But I'm going to take it a step further, and not just the instructional coach piece, but also the work that's being done in professional development with our two SEED facilitators. Both Rhonda Ilgner and Jennifer Stewart are just doing fantastic work, not only in the professional development that they led with you a couple of times ago, and no, I wasn't there that day, but I did have an opportunity a couple nights before for them to walk me through all of it. Sounded like it was an amazing day. Engagement was very high, and a lot of people really felt like they got some stuff that was of value to them. So kudos to the three of them. I know Rhonda continues to work very hard, not only on her master's in ELL, but in advocating for our ELL students, and in advocating for what are really high quality strategies that need to be done and can be very successful in the classroom. Today I had the opportunity to participate in the first walk and talk, although we stayed in a room because it's hard to walk and eat lunch at the same time. But Jennifer Stewart put together really a great activity around reading an article on project-based learning, and then following a protocol to really share out that article within the group. That was really, really well done. So Laura and Rhonda and Jen, this starfish is for you. The second group, our athletic directors, our activity directors, Corey and Nate. I cannot thank both of you enough. You're really doing some great work. and really starting to reshape the culture. Not just the culture in athletics, culture in activities, but the culture in terms of how we look at discipline for students. You both have been very heavily involved in the PBIS. Nathan, I really appreciate your leadership here and developing that work that's really going to make a difference and give us the opportunity to focus on positives, not necessarily the negatives, and really reshape that culture. So you're just beginning to scratch the surface, but Corey and Nate, this one's for you. Appreciate you guys. Okay, next up. So here's what I'm working on. I'm working on a lot, but three things that I want to highlight. First and foremost is school safety. There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes on school safety. And one of those pieces, Jake and Martha and I have been meeting with our first responders, so our chief of police, our sheriff, the guys from over at Colorado State Patrol, Kremling Fire, Office of Emergency Management. They really have just been wonderful partners, and they were really heavily involved in the planning of our recent lockdown drills. Kudos to everybody on that. I thought that went extremely well. We know we have some bugs to work out. We still have to get a little bit better in the communication end, but I really felt like that went quite well. And we're just going to continue to work on that. But we want to make sure that we have drills that have purpose. And then we're not just simply going through the motions. If you had read the article that I wrote last week in the Gazette, practice like you want to play. I mean, to me, that's what's important when we're doing these drills. So let's make sure that we're doing them right. And for the most part, we did a very, very good job. I will say too, the safety team, the work the safety team has been doing is really good. They're working hard to make sure that the emergency operations plan that we have as a district is updated and it's of quality. They continue to add different annexes. And honestly, the big thing we've got coming up on November 12th, the entire leadership team, or rather, my apologies, the safety team, along with a very good portion of our first responders will be working with the Colorado Safe Schools Resource Center in drafting our reunification plan. That's a really big lift. We know it's going to take a lot of work, but the great thing is our safety team of whatever it is, 13, 14 people, along with many of our first responders will have an opportunity to work, have some guided work around developing that plan. So I'm really looking forward to that on the 12th of November. Second thing I'm working on is, and it has consumed my time most of the fall, is educating people around Amendment 73. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of folks around the community, just making sure that they understand what the benefits are, what the intricacies are within the bill, and to make sure that they see how that can have a positive impact, not just on West Grand School District, but on the Kremling community. We've got 2 weeks to go with Amendment 73. If you are not registered to vote, please make sure you've registered to vote. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but your voice does matter. We need every single voice. At this point in time, yesterday, there was an article in the Denver Post that stated that, based on their scientific poll, that 58% of Coloradans currently would say that they're going to vote for Amendment 73. So that would meet the number we need. But the bottom line is people still have to get out and vote. So if you want more information or you just want to have a little bit of fun, on Friday morning from 8 to 10 at Big Shooter's Coffee, we'll have what's called Brews and Ballots. It's being hosted by Rebecca Guthrie and Tara Sharp. And so you can stop by, have conversations about Amendment 73, get yourself a cup of coffee. Then Monday night, next Monday, over at Grand Adventure Brewery, we'll be doing Brews and Ballots again, a little bit different type of brew there, but come on by from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. And honestly, even though it's October, we're already beginning the process for planning for next year. And among the things that we're already looking at are construction projects, the budget, and some of the programming things. There are some programming issues that we're starting to take a deep look at that would meet some needs that we have for our faculty and also within our community. We're very hopeful we're going to be able to put that programming in place. And maybe in a later video blog I'll have an opportunity to talk about that. But right now it's really working that deep behind the scenes type of work of starting to develop that. So next up I want to talk about what I've been hearing. I've been hearing project-based learning is successful, and that maybe as much as 70% of you have already implemented a project or an element related to project-based learning. The big thing that I would say here, there's two. I want you to think of project-based learning as a unit. You're taking a unit of study and you're putting it into or using that technique of project-based learning. I don't want a project to just be some outcome. It needs to be that embedded piece, and that was something actually in the back to the walk and talk that we had today at the high school with Jennifer Stewart. That was part of the article that was talked about in there. It's an important piece. So, and that ties into the second thing that I want to say about the project-based learning, and that is, don't be afraid of failure. It is perfectly okay to take that step, take that attempt, and not have it go well. It's a great opportunity to work on mindset, not only for yourself, but for your kids. We know that failure is not fatal. We know that taking that step and taking risk is the only way that we grow and that we get better. I don't want you to be afraid of failure. If anything, I want you to be afraid of being stuck in a rut. Be willing to take a risk. Okay, we've got a lot of support in place for you. And if nothing else, I'll be there to be a cheerleader for you. So please be willing to take that step. Last thing I want to talk about is communication. This is an example of different ways that we can communicate with our parents, within the faculty, and so forth. And what we want to do is make sure that our communication is always proactive. Really think about situations, and if there's an opportunity to say, hey, let's get some communication out on this ahead of time, and not have to be reactive on our communication, that would be a great thing. Schoolway is a great tool. So many of you really do a great job of using Schoolway. Everything from some of our elementary classrooms. We have some things going on in middle school, even the high school using quite a few different channels for Schoolway. So don't be afraid to take a step out there. Our newest member to dive into using Schoolway is the Kremling Preschool. We're excited to have them having their own Schoolway channel. So what I'd like to do, and I'll probably announce this a little bit more formally with some structures on it next week, is have a Schoolway contest, maybe homeroom to homeroom, grade level to grade level, those types of things. So I'll work with the principals Monday morning in our cabinet meeting, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we can do a Schoolway contest, so we can really drive up those numbers of people that are registered on Schoolway. I definitely want to see that increase. So. With that, I want to tell you how proud I am to be a part of the district, how excited I am to be a part of the district, and looking back now, 16 months into being here, we've got some great things going on, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. So until next week, thank you so much for listening to me. Hopefully you watched all the way through the end of the video. If you did, when you see me, I want you to tell me, whether you believe it or not, that John Elway is the greatest quarterback to ever live. That will tell me you watched all the way through the video. We are West Grand. Have a great day.